in the fray, flame of freedom bright as day. Cut through noise, clear the gray. Ace Report, we're here to stay. They can't silence what we say. We're the voice of the USA. Stand your ground, make them pay. Ace Report leads the way. Hanging low, Ace reports truth, let it blow. Shout it loud, every show, truth in the news they can't control. They can't silence what we say. We're the voice of the USA. Stand your ground, make them pay. Ace Report leads the way. Leads the war, leads the way. Leads the way. Clouds of lies hanging low. Ace the way. Leads the way. And here we go.
Now, I realize that for some of you, this is hitting you kind of hard because you're hearing it for the first time. Weirdly, since it's old news to me, I've just sort of processed it, so it just sort of is what it is. And I have to say that, everybody has to die, as far as I know. And it's kind of civilized that you know about how long you have, so you can put your affairs together and make sure you've said your goodbyes and done all the things you need to do. So if you had to pick a way to die, this one's really painful, like really, really painful. But it's also kind of good that it gives you enough time while your brain is still working to wrap things up. You might wonder why it took me so long to tell you, and I think I owe you an answer to that. Number one, it would change my life because everybody would start treating me like the cancer guy. You can't really there's no second way that goes. Once you go public, you're just the dying cancer guy. And I didn't want you to have to think about it. And I didn't want to have to think about it. You should know, well, if you didn't already know, I am unusually mentally tough. So while this could be much worse, for some people, I suppose, I'm handling it quite well. The pain is tough. I mean, really tough. But the mental part, I got that under control. And I can see in the comments that some of you are having a tough time with it. But remember, nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever.
Hey guys, what's going on tonight? So I know a lot of you are probably thinking, who's this guy? What is this all about? Well, I wanted to start my live tonight and just to honor this man. This is Scott Adams, and Scott is I've never met him. I don't know him personally, but from afar, I consider him one of my greatest mentors. I've read all his books. I've listened to a lot of his stuff for years now. And sorry, the audio might be a little lower tonight. I'm back on the old setup because Rumble Studios is just crap right now. You notice I'm clear, but yeah, the audio. So it's a give and take. Sorry about that, guys. It is what it is. I'll do my best to get the mic close to me. But anyways, so Scott Adams, from afar, has truly been one of the biggest influences on my life as far as teaching me just this book, especially right here. This book, How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big. This became like a manifesto in my life. One of the probably 10 books in my life that's impacted me the most. And so, he's only 67, and I've just had Scott in my life now for 2 decades. And anyways, I credit a lot of my growth in life to him. So if you've never heard him or missed out on his stuff, you're missing out. He's fantastic. One of the smartest men ever in modern times. Honest. I don't agree with him on everything, but that was the brilliance of it all, is how wonderful he handled disagreement and how open he was to change. And I also truly believe he's one of the main reasons Trump has become such a fixture in the mainstream media, because Scott helped navigate a lot of what made Trump amazing when so many wouldn't pay attention to it. So, but Scott announced today, because of the Biden cancer, he announced his own cancer. It's also prostate cancer. And he has maybe a few weeks to live, maybe a few months. And so anyways, it hit me hard. And there's very few people in life of stature, famous people, who I feel personally connected to, and Scott is one of them. So I just wanted to take the opening of the show to just say thank you to him, because I don't know how much longer he'll be around, what a gem he is, how much he's impacted my life. And I think he's a great man. And there's not a lot of great men out there, not a lot of brave men willing to stand up and speak the truth and also help guide others through it. And Scott's an inspiration. So I'm very saddened by this. Anyways, I literally tip my hat to him. It sucks. It really sucks. So anyways, so I know it's not my usual start to a show, but some people deserve a shakeup, deserve me doing things a different way. And that's how I feel about Scott. So anyways, that's how I'm going to open tonight. Just saying that my words. Anyways, I'm sure I'll do another one when he finally passes. But if you guys have not heard of him or read his books, anything like that, again, this one I cannot recommend enough. This is How to Fail at Almost Everything and Still Win Big. I do not meet a teenager who's getting ready to go into the world who I do not recommend this book to. It is one of those books that gives you a cheat code to do better in life. And I can testify to that, because I've lived it and seen my life get much better. So anyways, on that note, just wanted to say those things before we really got started. So anyways, all right. Well, I noticed, look, the camera's better. So look how clear I am. That's beautiful. YouTube only tonight. Rumble Studio, I figured out, is the problem, why I'm so blurry. And that sucks, because I want to use Rumble Studio. So now I cannot stream on Rumble, and I can't stream on X. So it's YouTube only until they fix the problem. But I figured it out, and it wasn't me. It wasn't me, guys. It's like George when he breaks up with people in Seinfeld. It's like, it wasn't you, it's me. Bob, you knew Scott Adams? Man, I'm jealous of you. Is he a good dude in real life? Or don't tell me if he's not. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Anyways, tonight we're going to talk about some disconcerting stuff coming from Paul Atkins' comments. I'm going to do my best to explain it the way I see it could possibly mean. And then obviously updates, Finger, G-Bucks, all that. Some stuff going on with Trump, especially talks of Russia, more signs of justice coming. So mostly all good things, but we're going to talk about that tonight. I look better blurry. Thanks, Butters. I really appreciate that. Bob says he is a good guy in real life, so that's awesome. Thomas, God bless you, man. Our prayers are with you as well, sir. I know you're fighting your fight, and so constantly thinking of you. Is the sound better with the mic closer, guys? I hope so. I'm doing my best. To belt it out. So, what's up, Van Place? All right, let's say hey to some people, and then let's get started. There's a lot of people in here, so I'll just catch the first few. And just don't worry, guys. I see all you, even if I don't call you out. Butters is first tonight. Congrats, sir. Chad Yunkin, Cass Sink, US1, Man Tan, Troy Man, Phil Haynes, Dave Munns, Donkey, Dave R. Kathy Shogun, what's going on? The one, what it do? Darren Collins, Lyricals in the house. Husker Power, Scott Volkovich, Toe Cramp, Stony Bones, ESK, Just Mike, Steve Bernard, Yoker, Frank Anastasio, Kim Wiley, Automag's got a notification tonight. Love it. Curtis Hatcher, what's going on? CJ Yukon, Primo Bro, Wago Waco. Good to see you guys tonight. Cindy Lou, how's it going? Alan's in the house too. Yeah, Josh, we'll talk about that in a minute. You like my theme song, Ryan? Is that the first time you heard it, bro? You haven't been watching enough. What's up, Van and Plays? Corey says, I love how Finger was on the short sale restricted list, yet 60% short today. I know. You listen, you turn it up to 11. I love it, Toe Cramp. So how loud does it get? It goes to 11. I love that spinal belt, man. You can see me better so you can read my lips. All right, well, that'll work. Yeah, Finger got absolutely crushed the first half of the day, and then it got green, which was amazing, all the way up to 420 I saw at one point, and then they got us back down to the 380s. But you know what, I got to say that we showed a lot of strength. They could have crushed us straight down, so the fact that we bounced back up like that, they got a problem, folks. They got a problem, and, you know, I don't care who knows it. In fact, they have such a problem that Bam the Man is having issues with his system again.
No, here are my
There's
computer
Bam talking
screens
about
this
what's
morning.
going on.
No, here are my computer screens this morning after completely changing systems. Monitor 1.
He's
2,
dead, man. They killed his system.
3. Dead in the water.
Pretty crazy. I mean,
No, here are my computer screens this
crazy.
morning
He,
after completely changing
and
systems.
he writes, regain
Monitor
mobile
1.
access, but computer unusable. Is this because of my involvement in Finger or the guest speaker in China in our Space Friday? I don't know if you guys heard that Space Call Friday. It was fantastic, but there was a speaker from China who came, and I believe Bam has been reaching out to him ever since. And the poor guy, I think his family has been a victim of organ trafficking, which is about as horrific as it gets. It's like a horror movie. It's like Hostel or whatever that old movie was, Eli Roth movie, back when Saw was a big thing. But just I can't even believe what some of these people live through. You know, we forget in America sometimes, as amazing as things are, we get to focus on what's hard, and we forget that we still have it better than 99% of the world. I mean, and that's not even a joke. We have it so good in most places, in most ways. It doesn't mean we shouldn't fight for it to get better, but I can't even imagine what it'd be like to have your family stolen from you, and your own government organ harvesting your family. I just can't believe it. So apparently Bam is trying to help this guy, this poor Chinese man. So yeah, man, pray for that guy. Jeez, heavy live so far tonight. It was not my plan, but it's just how it's starting out. Smash the like, says Just Mike. Thank you, Mike. I forgot to tell everybody, please hit that like, subscribe. I appreciate it. Let's break through and get the videos out there by showing them that you guys like me, like Sally Field, winner Oscar. You love me. You really love me. Grit story by Frank Nez today. FINRA is now under fire for hiding more dark pools than Citadel. FINRA, the ones that's supposed to be protecting us, they are covering up the dark pools. And I mean, what else is there to say? Just these people, it's unbelievable what we deal with, guys. It's filthy. It is so filthy. This place is so corrupt, and you know it's why I give a pass is the wrong word, but it's why I'm patient. I'm very patient with Trump and what they're trying to do, because if we're seeing this, okay, if we're seeing it this bad, imagine how much worse it is on the inside. It's just facts. That's how it's got to be. And they've already said it about the DOJ and the FBI. So imagine how much worse it is everywhere else. Imagine how much worse the SEC is than we actually have seen. I mean, this is disgusting that a regulatory agency literally designed for us to help us is helping assist the corruption. So check out Frank Neds if you haven't already. The guy is fantastic. He's just covering market news, and he's great. You guys gotta watch his stuff or read his stuff because it helps so much. Butter says, thank God for people like Kirsten Chauncey and Frank Neds fighting the written media front. Absolutely. Yeah, Kirsten's amazing as well. There's others too, like Just Dario. They're not big. They're not big because everybody just wants to watch Bloomberg, read Bloomberg and CNBC and get the happy market news, the covered up market news. But, this is one area where independent media is still not that strong, which is the markets. Okay. It's just not that strong yet, but it's growing. It's growing. And I'm a small part of that. Other people are doing the work day in and day out covering this, and I more cover them. but it's important. We got to get this out there, spread it as Bam, Pedro, and Ham say, it's information, it's education that kills them. And it's the one thing they can never plan for. So, or how corrupt our judicial system is. That's right. So now what? Todd Earhart says, Citadel credit rating 1 level above junk. Is that for real, or are you being funny? I haven't heard that, if that's real. Vince Felice says 10 cents a day. You get to hang out with a bunch of cool people. And Eric, Eric, do you hear that? Vince is putting it out there. $3 a month, guys. You can be a member. Hit the join button and get into the Discord, because the Discord's been fantastic. Who do we root for in the Citadel hearing? I mean, you can never root for Citadel. Let's put it that way. Okay. Quick, I don't ever cover Mullen, but I'm doing this because Bam hit another one. Mullen is now way up today. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's way up, almost 100%. And he tracked it. And so I'm sharing it just to prove more of how worthwhile it is to follow Bam and how he can just help us all make money while we're waiting on stuff. His model is fantastic, but also he calls out Tigger's dad, who's one of the worst bashers on X for meme stocks, just always going after us. He's one of the worst. I mean, this guy, total fool, progressive libertarian. He tries to come across so smart. At least he's not as dorky as Tony the douche. Guys, I just want to help you. If you just realize the markets are fine, you would make money. Oh, Tony D. But he's calling out Tigger's dad because, as usual, Bam's model is better than anything they can throw at him. And speaking of Bam's model, G-Bucks got killed today, but it triggered a buy signal, which is interesting because the dividend for G-Bucks is supposed to be delivered in 2 days. So is that already having an effect? The dividend hitting the shorts? It could be. So I'm interested to watch next couple of days, but it triggered a buy signal, and he believes it'll retest up to 720, or he doesn't believe. His model's telling him, which would be a triple. Even if we don't get a massive short squeeze out of G-Bucks right now, if his model's tracking this, you can get a triple win. 300% win. Pretty quick here. So that's awesome. Okay, let's move into more of the news. All right, guys. Even the market stuff, as Mr. Garrison would say, F them. Oh, dear God. Garrison, so funny. $3, not much model glue is more. Thanks, Brett. That's good. That's good good comparison. Thank you for helping me through that. Big JR says, I grabbed some Mullen for a side play last week. When he mentioned it, he's the man. Bam, the man. That's right. Donkey asks, is there a crack in my camera or dog hair on the camera lens? No, it's probably, you know what? It's my blue screen. Is that better, buddy? You should have spoke up sooner. I would have fixed it sooner. See? There you go. There you go. Look how smooth that is. It's so much better now, isn't it? Yeah, so don't worry about your screen, Donkey. I got you. That was a trick. How many people could I get to wipe their screens off? Okay, Kirsten, speaking of Kirsten Shaughnessy, she shared this today. I have so many questions. Why is FINRA the regulator on the bid and the ask a finger? That's very interesting. Why would they be the regulator on the bid and the ask? A NASDAQ listed stock. That's crazy. FINRA is supposed to be the referee. Why does it look like the player too? Why are two platforms FINRA allegedly owns, OTCBB, over-the-counter bulletin board, and OOTC, showing up on the bid and ask a finger? And why is OTCBB and OOTC even involved with finger, a NASDAQ stock? They're back alley trading venues for penny stocks and pink sheets. FINRA is neither. So, guys, they are messing with finger bad. What does that tell you? They have a problem. They have a problem. They are freaking out trying to figure this out. And who's they? The crooks in FINRA, the crooks in Citadel, the crooks at Anson Funds. You pick one, okay? Pick one. There's a whole lot of them. And I don't know what the SEC is doing, if they're doing anything. Somebody said the other day that at the SEC, they said, oh, we know about it. We just don't know how to fix it, which is either complete nonsense or they're morons, okay? But the fact is, this has got to be, excuse me. Ooh, that's just slipped out. This has got to be the beginning of the end, because this is the worst manipulation we've seen yet, that FINRA itself is getting involved in the actual trading. It says, didn't FINRA announce in November 21 that it shut it down, OTCBB? Well, how's that possible? Why is there so little information on OOTC, which FINRA controls? Is it like a secret clubhouse for trades? Is FINRA using OOTC and OOTCB? I can't keep saying these so fast. Are they using Akba and UTSI? That's better. Are they being used to manipulate finger? Are they being used to create counterfeit shares and infinite liquidity? It's not just finger. Check out DJT and Tesla too. Why is anyone looking at FINRA's trading activity? Why is the SEC considering stopping the cat? Too much sunlight. And that's Anna Trades comes with the receipts here. All right. You see and there we go. Right there. Right there. Very interesting stuff. Very, very interesting stuff. And like she mentioned, today there was some comments from Paul Atkins, which were not encouraging, about the CAT system, saying that the CAT system is costing them $250 million a year, which is pennies to most government agencies. I get it that the SEC is not one of the most highly funded parts of the government, but still, come on. Between the fines they get and everything, they can easily fund it. But $250 million, he says, is concerning, and they're going to reevaluate the CAT system. Now, first of all, off everybody's top of their heads, everybody freaks out and is like, this is messed up. The CAT system is what we need to track the trades. And on that premise, I completely agree. It's very disconcerting that they're bringing this up. And I don't know what to think about it, honestly. If it's true that they're going to pull the CAT system and this is the big and the CAT system actually is doing what they've told us it will do, then this is unacceptable. There's only one thing I could think of that possibly, and I do say possibly because it's probably not likely, but possibly could be actually going on. And it's possible that the CAT system is just not what we were led to believe it is. Why do I say that? Well, think about who created it. For the last 4 years before Trump got in, and even before that, if you go into SEC and beyond, because Trump didn't reform all the agencies before. A lot of deep state Republicans were getting put into place, and he didn't quite know what he was doing in that first term. So a lot of them still remain in place, including at the SEC. Is it possible, and I'm just putting it out there, I'm not saying I necessarily believe this, but I have to leave open the possibility that maybe the CAT system is not good and maybe it's being used for something that's not what we would think it is. Because who's gotten busted from the CAT system yet? Can we name anybody? I can't. But again, that's just a hypothetical I'm throwing out there. I want to give Atkins the benefit of the doubt as long as I can. What happened today with his comments is a big ding in that, and it's difficult. But it's also, he's only been there 3 weeks. So there's word, Kirsten put it out the other day, they're hearing market reform is on its way. I know Trump hates the corruption in the stock markets. He hates it. He's written it in books. He's spoken on in the past, even before he was president. He's not a fan. And they're crushing his company, DJT. So, in my opinion, there's no way Trump isn't in favor in cleaning stuff up. So, knowing that, Paul Atkins is either a good actor doing stuff that might surprise us but ends up well, or he's a bad actor and Trump is going to take care of it by either firing him or exposing him or what, I don't know. But this is one, I got to say, it was a little confusing. And so I'm just trying to see the possibilities that might be better than Paul Atkins is just a crook in it with them. Because we don't want to go through this again anymore. So I got to hope that that's it, despite the fact that it doesn't look good. So I'm going to just keep following it. We'll watch and see what happens. It has been 3 weeks since he's been in, so expectations should not be super high yet for everything being done. That being said, Trump's moving fast, and we got to hope that he starts making moves to clean up this, either through Paul Atkins or now that he's got Paul Atkins in place, he can actually do something else. Big JR says, FINRA is dirtier than LeBron's belly button after a Diddy part. I don't want to think about that. That's disgusting. Uncle Andy says, maybe we should be making FinCEN aware of this stuff instead of FINRA. I mean, I think we should make them all aware, but yeah. Pig Boss Wolf, welcome. Pig Boss Wolf, you sound like Man Bear Pig. Were you created by Al Gore too? Says the SEC allegedly had a meeting for today and tomorrow. Yeah, that's where Paul Atkins' comments came from. It's ironic how Ralph Norman was on Charles Payne's show and discussed about metamaterials. That's interesting. Brett says, did anybody notice if the FINRA trades were non-odd lot? What is that? Let's hope Atkins isn't like Mr. Slave. In case there's children watching, I'm going to have to save the Mr. Slave talk for a members live there, buddy. Maybe it's moving to blockchain. That's interesting. Interesting thought, James. Mantan, Finner's looking shady just like a Diddy. Everybody's about the Diddy stuff. Thomas Dubois says Instinet LLC got busted by the CAT system 23, paying a measly $3.8 million fine. And that's what is that what, or is it just a cover to make an example of how it could be? I don't know. And with such a small fine, that doesn't even sound like they really got busted. So that's the thing. I don't know. So Donkey asks, any word on Ham meeting Bondi? I believe he's going on Friday. He said he's leaving Friday. I haven't talked to him since he set up plans to meet her or to talk to her people. So I don't have the inside scoop on that yet. Ryan says, Elon made it clear if he goes after big fraud, he feared assassination. That alone means they won't talk this. Nah, I totally disagree with that, Ryan. Trump was shot at twice. You think Trump cares about assassination attempts? He's got Secret Service now. Elon might not go after it, but that's a little different. Trump will, and I think Elon could go after it through Trump. You got to remember, Trump's stock is tied up in this. Fear assassination. Dude, Trump doesn't fear any of them. Do you see what he's doing overseas? You're telling me he's more afraid of Wall Street than the globalists? That does not track, Ryan, not logically. And I'm not saying your comment was dumb, as I don't think it is at all. I believe you saw that and heard that. But if you follow the logic on that, it doesn't make sense that they would be afraid. It just doesn't. Not now that we have the presidency. So I just disagree with that at all completely. If they don't clean up the markets, I think the only reason at this point is because they believe the markets might clean up themselves when there's a systemic event that's coming. So that would be my thought. And you know what? If I'm wrong and in 4 years, nothing happened, there's no systemic event to set us off, there's no market correction or cleanup reform, then you guys can all say I was wrong. But I'm gonna give them all the full 4 years. Todd Earhart, member for 14 months, re-ups. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that very much. Husker Power, I don't see why Elon can't make something happen. Video of him talking about it, and that's what I mean. I think they are doing stuff behind the scenes. I really do. What broker was busted by Cat? I know there was numbers produced. I don't remember one getting busted. Ham's leaving Thursday. Okay. What's up, Fro Girl? So Ham's leaving Thursday, and I think he might have a meeting Friday. So, all right, let's get into Finger real quick on this Baba stuff. I had somebody go after me today on X, which is now becoming a daily routine. It's very fun. I actually do love it. It's not fun in the sense that you like people going after you, but it's fun in the sense that it shows they are terrified. Why would anybody go after me? Okay. I don't have millions of dollars I'm moving around, except for I just report the truth as I see it, at least the best to my ability by what I know. But somebody came after me today saying that this Finger rumor I'm part of the problem with it, that Baba, and no, there was no news announced Monday, and so it's over, and I should apologize, and I'm blah blah blah, whatever. Listen, I never said they'd announce Monday. I always said it was a rumor, but I said it's a rumor with a lot of evidence behind it and makes a lot of sense. And here is Jamers, one of my favorites, with an excellent breakdown of why this rumor is a strong rumor. Let me put it that way. He writes, just 3 months ago, Baba announces plans to invest $53 billion in AI infrastructure. And then last week, Finger announced new proprietary AI related business services. Baba and Finger already have a 5 years long business relationship. I'd find it hard to believe this is just a coincidence. And he's got the receipts. He's looked it up. Finger's been putting stuff on that platform. They've been working together for 5 years. So this is more than just a rumor out of nowhere, guys. All right? So listen, I'm not always right. Okay? When it comes to politics, I'm right most of the time. I think what did we figure it out, Vince? 96.7% of the time. I think it's 96.7% of the time I'm right about politics. Almost as good as Rush. Rush was 99.8, I believe. So I'm close. I'm a Rush baby. I learned from him. On the market stuff, I just more report what I see and what's spoken to me. So it's not as much about being right. I just try to tell you what I'm seeing and learning. But this is more than a rumor. Okay, this is a rumor with teeth. And I'm not saying it's going to happen, but Finger did just announce they're in Indonesia. Okay, that's a big deal. And they've worked with Baba for 5 years. They got all kinds of tech going on, and the bashers are getting louder. So I'm pretty sure, guys, something good's coming. All right. Now, will that be that big deal? I don't know, but usually where there's smoke, there's fire. So Butter says they know the truth is powerful. I love that. Johnny Strayhorn asks, how would suspending habeas corpus affect the markets? Probably not at all. If Trump suspends habeas corpus to get illegals out, which, by the way, if you guys don't know what habeas corpus is, it's basically the fancy word of saying suspending legal due process. President Lincoln did it in the Civil War to help the North fight the war. All right, against the South. So it has precedent in emergencies, and of all people, the Lincoln Project was calling it out. It's like, Do you guys understand the name you guys got and who actually suspended habeas corpus before? But nobody ever claimed these people are smart. Anyways, but if he suspends habeas corpus, which I don't think he will, I think they're just threatening. But if he does, the markets will probably have like one bad day or one bad half day where all the headlines are Trump suspends habeas corpus, throwing into panic, and the markets respond. It'll be something like that. And then they'll shake it off and just move on. That's what'll happen. So I wouldn't expect anything from that. Something about Diddy and Jeffrey Epstein. What are you talking about, Alan? I don't know if I've seen what you're talking about. Be nice to crypto, Brett. He's one of the good ones. Let's see. They need habeas douches to get the criminals out of the market. Yeah, I don't, if he suspends habeas corpus, I can almost guarantee you that he won't use it on citizens. I can almost guarantee it. It would be too toxic for his brand right now. So I wouldn't expect that. You're welcome, Johnny. All right, Mike, have a good night's sleep, man. Thanks for coming by. Husker says, over all these years since AMC, I look for distractions and squeeze plays. We have a lot of distractions and mind games to try to get us out. If it wasn't a big deal, they wouldn't be fighting. Absolutely. Fingers of nothing stock and company compared to all these others, guys. And the fact that we're trending on X, and a lot of that is the bashers coming after us. What does that tell you? Our small little stock is just going to crush them. It's going to crush them. They're terrified. They really are. They're trapped. That's the other thing it should tell you. They're trapped. And until they shake us out, and because Trump's in charge now, they're not going to get their get out of jail free card. So they're trapped with us, and they hate it. They hate it. Thomas says, I'd like to retract his last statement, not busted, talking about the brokers, but perhaps caught by the CAT system. Problem was when forking over cash, find the perp neither confirms nor denies and disclaimer. Absolutely. And Thomas, as you say, they were caught by the CAT system. Again, that's just what we're told. So, again, I'm not saying my hypothesis is correct or my possibility is correct. I mean that it's a possibility that maybe the CAT system isn't what we were told. So, Jeffrey involved with the freak off day party. Was he? Is this new news? I haven't seen this. Michael Anthony, I do mean the shorts are trapped. Yes. Stephen Cromer says, what happens when dozens or hundreds of legislators get arrested for U.S. aid? We vote in new ones. Or they're appointed new ones. I don't know, man, but it's going to be lit, and I can't wait for it. I'm super, super excited for it. Big JR says, the same guy who came after you on X and in here had me blocked when I went to block him. Are you serious? No, that's funny. That's funny. All right. You guys, you think Trump cares? Listen, this is how much Trump cares or has fear about dealing with people.
Got the Olympics, and then we got through Johnny, who's the boss. He's a friend of mine. We got the World Cup. I got them both, and I said, man, I won't be president. I got the Olympics and the World Cup, and I won't be president. And they're going to forget that I got them. Nobody's going to mention it because, a little bit that's the way life is. And then they rigged the election. And then I said, you know what I'll do? I'll run again, and I'll shove it up their ass. And that's what I did. And all of a sudden, I then realized, I said, you know what? I got the Olympics, I got the World Cup, and I got the 250th. Look at the way this works out. So if they would have left us alone and wouldn't have cheated on the election and wouldn't have rigged it, I would have been retired right now. I would have been happily doing something else. And instead, they have me for 4 more years. Can you believe it? So it has
I win a third time and shove it up their ass. That is not a scared man. That is not a scared man. I love it. I love him so much. Docky, you found 5 shares of AMC in an old phone. That's awesome. Peter asks, this is a great question. Could what happened to MMTLP happen to Finger? They just stopped trading the stock. I don't believe so. And here's why. Now, MMTLP was OTC. Finger is NASDAQ. To be on NASDAQ, is much more difficult than OTC. You've been vetted, you've put up there, and it gives you a little protection. There's a reason companies want to be on NASDAQ. It gives you legitimacy. It gives you a little more protection. OTC stocks, good luck. You know, we've learned that with GTII. They can spring and they can make you really rich, but they can also be disruptive and destructive. So that's number one. Okay. Number two, MMTLP was, I can't remember exactly what they were in the middle of, but was it a dividend or a warrant? I wasn't in MMTLP, guys. So it's been a while since I've gone over the story, but they had something going on that gave, not saying it was right, but it gave them an inch, and they took 17,000 miles. Okay. Finger hasn't done anything like that. So I can't remember exactly what it was. Maybe they were changing their QSIP or something like that. But anyways, Finger and MMTLP are light years apart. Light years apart. I don't see any way it could happen with them. It's just not the same story. Mark Maddox says Houston Wade claims he single-handedly cost Scott Adams a syndication. What? There's no way. There's just no way. Oh, CBT. They were going private. That's what it was. Yeah. So that was that's you know, not that MMTLP did anything wrong again, but they used that against them, and because that's a pretty major move they were making. So thank you, and Dave R as well. How did Houston Wade's claim somebody used to want me to debate Houston Wade, and I always just thought Houston Wade was kind of a goober. I don't want to debate him. I don't want to spend my time with people like that. And if he's saying stuff like that, it makes me even more not want to be around him. I don't want to be around anybody who brags that they're the ones who ruined somebody's income stream. You think they regret rigging that election 2020? Well, they do and they don't. I think they feel torn because they never thought Trump could come back. They did not think 2024 could ever happen. And they know he's better this time. But at the same time, I think that they thought if they'd had Trump again for the next 4 years, it would also destroy them. So I don't know how they feel about that. Judge Brown commented on Diddy and Jeffrey. Really? I got to look into that. Thomas Dubois agrees. He says it's a front to back door who they like and hang out to dry when they don't. With the cat says, absolutely they do. Yep, that's how it works. Butters asks, could G-Bucks become the next MMTLP? Highly doubtful. Highly doubtful. And this is why. I've looked into G-Bucks. Okay. G-Bucks is legit company and they're growing.
And we got the Olympic.
Okay. They're not trying to change their company, anything like that. They are OTC, but I don't think they'll be OTC for long. Think about it. They've been over $1 now for a long time. They could probably file pretty quick and get on NASDAQ. Also, G-Bucks has hundreds of millions of dollars of deals lined up. G-Bucks is trending in the right direction. So I don't see them trying to do anything that could set them back like that. Plus, since MMTLP has happened, it makes it much harder for something like that to happen again because there's too many eyes on them. That's a trick I think you can only do once. All right. Brett says MMTLP was a spinoff of Torchlight, a known dividend that was not supposed to trade. So MMTLP was a mess from the beginning, guys. That's a big difference. So G-Bucks could not be the next MMTLP. Okay. MMTLP technically in that, since it was a dividend not supposed to trade in the beginning, that's their fault and they should have owned it and pay off and that should be settled. But it was a mess from the beginning because of that. And that means it, you know, it's not the same thing at all. So. Well, they could do U3 halting, yes. Yeah, so there's all kinds of stuff on it. I don't want to spend too much time on MMTLP, guys. I just telling you it's not the same thing at all. And I think it's pretty clear. Brett, Houston Wade showed his true colors on the election last November, complete libtard. He is, yeah, he is. I've always known he was a total libtard. I don't think it was the election that showed it. I think he was complete lefty even before that. But anyways. All right, another huge news, this could move markets soon, is if we get a Ukraine-Russia deal. Trump had a great conversation with Putin today, moving towards truce terms. So just huge news. Definitely going to be watching that closely. And then there's this I saw, which I just wanted to share, just another example of how crazy our economy is and why there has to be a correction. But look at this. In 2007, the median home buyer was born in 1968. So what is that? 39 years old. The median home buyer in 2024, also born in 1968, 17 years later. So now 56, the same year. This is one of the craziest stats I've just seen in recent times. The same people have the money for buying houses. Isn't that crazy? So ever since the financial crisis, things were already trending in the wrong direction in America, but ever since the financial crisis, it's just, we've kind of stagnated as a country. And this is just proof of it. Absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Randy says, no trust for Democrats either. You can't anymore. You just can't. I know some personal Democrats I can trust because they're moderate and they really struggle with where their party's at, and they're good people. They're like old school. But as far as Democrats in the media or Democrats in power, you can't trust a single one of them. Not a single one. Thomas says, Houston's a Democrat, calls Trump a Nazi on his live streams. There you go. KYP was there. Well, that doesn't surprise me. I love her, and KYP, if you're watching, I love you. But you're definitely, we definitely are on the opposite sides of the spectrum. Yeah, so it's funny. How did you guys all find that out about Houston? I figured, like, I watched him twice. I think the last time I watched him was 3 years ago, and I knew right away he's a lefty. So I'm surprised some of you guys hung out that long, or maybe I just caught the right stream. I don't know. Okay. I didn't say it was a boomer, Alan. Well, it says it here, huh? Well, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. It would be, when did Gen X start? Well, let's look at it. Now you got me wondering. What years were baby boomers born? Until 64, so just barely. Barely. So that's an old Gen Xer. Missed it by 4 years. So there you go. 46 to 64 is considered a boomer. All right. So Darth Powell stands corrected there, Alan. Gen X 1965. So it was an old Gen Xer. There you go. Alan's very passionate about this subject, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. All right. One more thing I want to show you guys. This is just great. Just to show you how much things are changing. I don't know if you guys watched this morning, but this is fantastic. Carolyn Levitt had Zero Hedge in, and Zero Hedge has this awesome question, which it's kind of baffling to believe this happened on mainstream TV covering all this, but just listen.
Thank you. And my only other question for you is, so over the weekend, President Trump posted Truth Social a video highlighting what most people call the Clinton body count, which is the strange number of suicides that seem to happen in Clinton circles. I have a headline here from the Washington Post that said, Trump peddles false conspiracy theories tying the Clintons to several deaths. So I just wanted to highlight real quick, this wasn't in Trump's video, but this is from the Arkansas Times. And it's the death of Mark Middleton, who was a former Clinton White House aide, who was found dead on a Clinton Foundation property. And I'll just quote from the Arkansas Times. Middleton apparently shot himself in the chest with a shotgun and also hung himself from a tree with an extension cord. So I have no idea how somebody commits suicide that way, but if the Washington Post is here, maybe you can enlighten us as to how that was actually a suicide. So anyways, that's just a lead into my question about the most famous Clinton-related suicide, which is that of Jeffrey Epstein. There's still a lot of questions around that case. You've released phase 1 of the Epstein files. What was missing from that is any connection to his ties to intelligence agencies, and that's really the whole story, that not just trafficking young girls, but doing it on behalf of intelligence agencies, and even potentially as part of a blackmail ring with potential ties to the Israeli government. So for phase 2, when can we expect it? Will it have information pertaining to those aspects of the Epstein case?
I know the Attorney General has committed to releasing those files. I would defer you to the Department of Justice on her timeline, but when she has made a promise in the past, she has kept it, and I'm just
spin the receipts on Clinton suicides and Epstein for everybody to see. So guys, this is the kind of stuff, if you're watching carefully, if you're seeing everything that's going on, because I hear all the time, and it happened again with Paul Atkins today, and I've already told you guys why I have my thoughts of what could be either way on that. But I see a lot of this because people are impatient. And so many people keep saying, it's just the same thing. This is just the same. No, they're not doing anything. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Are you watching? Are you paying attention? Because things are changing rapidly. Now, I don't know what people expected, that Trump would get into office and on day one, everything would be fixed. I guess people just don't understand, like how these things work. There's a process to everything, especially if you're going to do it right. And to think things aren't different is crazy. This, my friends, what was just asked in this conference, this briefing, I should say, press secretary briefing, what was just asked there, that's unheard of. I don't know if you guys heard it, but there's a little cough. A reporter coughs because he's obviously trying to get the attention off of it.
His ties to intelligence agencies, and that's really the whole story, that not just trafficking young girls, but doing it on behalf of intelligence agencies, and even potentially as part of a blackmail ring with potential ties to the Israeli government. So for phase 2, when can we expect it? Will it have information pertaining to my question about the most famous Clinton-related suicide, which is that of Jeffrey Epstein? There's still a lot of questions around that case. You've released phase 1 of the Epstein files. What was missing from that is any connection to his ties to intelligence agencies, and that's really the whole tree with an extension cord. That way, maybe you can enlighten us as to how that was actually a suicide.
It was on there. I'm sure some of you guys heard it. I can't find it. But it's clear they don't want this out there. The media is complicit, But it's wild. And this is important to pay attention and keep watching things over and over and over again. And remember, guys, things are changing rapidly and in the right direction. All right. This story that's going on with Biden right now is massive. Tomorrow, the book gets released by Jake Tapper. And listen, it's not going to be much we didn't know, but it is interesting that the story on Biden's decline, the Her tapes came out last Friday, and now we know Biden's dying of prostate cancer. It's not coincidental they released it now. So this story is massive, and it's killing the Democratic Party. They are losing more and more trust by the second. Okay, it's all falling apart for them. They cannot grasp, even when Trump had a relatively tough month media-wise because of the tariffs, and even the people were starting to be like, I don't know what he's doing. The Democrats couldn't capitalize. They have nothing. So it's not just the Democrats, though. It's also the deep state. Right now, Trump is focused on foreign policy and stopping the bleeding at the border, and then getting the tax cuts codified. Once that's done, we're going to start seeing a whole lot of other stuff start opening up. I'm just telling you. So it's coming, guys, because the tax bill's almost done. All right, let me catch up with everybody, and then before calling it a night. Yeah, Michael Anthony says, lots of people found dead, friends of the Clintons. Yeah, 54? So, yeah, a lot. Her got a twinkle as soon as he said it, says Tokram. She loves it. Luke 12:2 in action, says Todd Earhart. I don't know Luke 12:2 off the top of my head. There's nothing covered that shall not be revealed, nothing hidden, not known. Absolutely. Amen. Strayhorn says, questions that matter. Awesome. Alan, was the Intel department hard to answer that? Yeah, right. Yeah, they're not answering that right there. But Brett says, Carolyn's always prepared, not like KJP. She was terrible. Thank you, Rum Dog, for 22 months, almost 2 years, brother. He says, thanks for all your knowledge and insight. Member for 22 months. That's awesome, man. Steven says, I think you should nominate Big JR to attend a White House briefing. If I could get a pass, I would send Big JR on my behalf. So him and Carolyn might be able to find love together. Alan says, is it a Trump troll or is it with JFK Jr. airline? What are you talking about, Alan? I'm sorry. I'm not following you on that one. Oh, Jake Tapper's terrible. He's terrible. Fox Hunter, what's up, brother? It says Trump will deal with the shorts. It's definitely on his list of things to do. It's massive. They know it. They have to plan accordingly, or there will be major exposure. You got to remember that. All right, Thomas Dubois, we love you. Have a good night, man. We're praying for you, brother, and your health. So keep fighting, man. We're here with you. Yeah. So on that, if Trump blanket does something on the markets, it's going to massively affect the market, and he knows they'll tank the market on purpose to crush them and ruin the midterms. But he also knows the market's probably going to crash anyways at some point because it's just so bad. Okay, it's such a mess. So what does he do? I mean, in my opinion, guys, it's he's biding his time and waiting for the right moment to do it where it's going to cause the least amount of pain for regular people. And that's what Trump's trying to do. He's trying to do all this cleanup, which is just insane. And he's trying to do it with the smallest amount of Main Street pain. Just like Scott Bessent said that Wall Street had their time, now it's Main Street's time. And that's where we're going to. Okay, that's what it comes down to. And so I think, and I'm just going to trust that they know what they're doing, or they at least have a plan they're trying. And so I agree with Fox Hunter 100%. I really do. Yeah, Carolyn's never circled back. Yeah, Brett, thank you. Please like, subscribe, guys. I really appreciate you for watching tonight. And listen, I'm still very hopeful. We're going to have bumps in the road. Don't get me wrong. But I still think the right people are in charge. And even if they do something that seems crazy, I'm going to trust them for now. I'm giving them 4 years. I am. And that goes with all of them. There's been a lot of people critical of Bondi. I'm not. People are being critical of Paul Atkins. I'll call out the cat thing as I see it, but I'm also trusting that he's better than Gensler. And so maybe he knows something we don't. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt until the 4 years is up. And then we'll know. Then we'll know if we did or not. Fox Hunter with the $20 super chat. Thank you, Fox. He says, we will win and shorts will lose. I love it. Thank you, Fox, for the generosity. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for your support. And just love you guys. So please, hey, if you want more, if you want to just be in all the time as we talk about this stuff in real time, you need to get in the Discord. And if you're not in the Discord and you're a member, just go find that link. It's on the members post. If you are not a member, it's $3 a month. I don't ask for much, and you can get right in. So what you waiting for? Anyways, so if you want more, and also members lives, you then get on Wednesdays. All right. You guys are the best. Have a great night. And I will see you guys all tomorrow. Take care. Good night. Oh, you know what? I can't say good night yet. I got to pray. We always got to pray. All right. So let's end in a prayer because we need it. We need it. I almost forgot. All right. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God bless this amazing community. I pray for wisdom as we navigate these crazy times ahead. And Lord, I just pray protection over Trump and his team, guidance for them, and boldness, especially, Lord, that the markets, I just pray that this ends in the next few weeks, just as soon as possible. And because it is time for justice, we're ready for it, and we're ready to fight and be with him. We got his back. So we pray for Thomas and anybody else dealing with health issues. Lord, just bless them. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, guys. Can't believe I almost did that. Yes. And again, a good reminder, Rum Dog, that Bam says mid-June he expects another move to upside. He also said late May into June. So lots of good stuff could be coming. All right. Love you guys. Please like and subscribe on the way out. Have a great night. And now I'm really going. See you later. Bye-bye.